Hello and welcome to Point Man Reviews Battle Chatter Episode 2. Today you have myself, David Golding, editor of Point Man Reviews. You've got Buzz.
Hello.
David Jarman, who's a writer along with Wolves.
Hello.
Josh, who's also a writer for us. And today we've got a guest speaker with us. He owns a gaming centre, and that is Arthur Tolme.
Hello. Nice.
Hello.
Thank you for inviting me on.
No worries at all. Thank you very much for allowing
And stealing pretty much our name for the podcast, you
yeah.
bastard.
Anyway, what we're going to talk about at the beginning is Battlefield 4's launch and like how interesting that's been, and then the COD Ghosts, and we'll then see where we go from there. So, both me and you have played Battlefield 4, so...
Me and you, yes, we have. Well, I was lucky enough to go to the Battlefield 4 Showdown event, where we faced off against the Americans and got our asses handed to us, which was awfully fun, because the European team turned up, pretty much community-based, quite friendly, amicable kind of guys. Stayed in the bar till 3 AM most nights. The American team turned up, pretty much chanting every morning, going to bed at 9, with 28 out of the 32 players pretty much pro players. So yeah, it was definitely an even playing field. They definitely wanted to win, like really badly. But I think Battlefield 4 is an amazing game. I've been lucky to play it in both next gen and current gen. So
yeah, well, in fairness, both me and Dave played it at Eurogame on the Xbox Ones, and it is a phenomenal
awesome.
game. It is so. I've got to say the 360 doesn't do it justice in any way, shape, or form.
I still think it's a good looking game on Xbox 360. Considering that it's obviously the machine is busting at the bits to play it, hence the reason it keeps crashing. But I looked at it the other day and I thought, you know what, as first person shooters go, what's going on? It's still pretty impressive that the old machine can crank it out.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are still times when you had that the other day where we were having an absolute stonking game, and you're like 7,000 points 2/3 of the way into the game, and the machine just went, yeah, okay, had enough now, and just stopped.
It was a long match, it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Are the only differences between the old gen and the new gen, are the only differences graphical? Or is there anything?
No, there's a unit, not a unit cap, it's the wrong word, a player cap is then goes from 32 to 64 players.
Oh, okay.
There's also a spectator mode on the next gen and PC version, which you don't get on 360.
Right.
All ghosts, yeah.
No.
They are patching something in for that.
But no, it is. In fairness, I'm really liking it. I'm liking that they've slightly changed the controls now, and they have stolen so much from Medal of Honor. It is unreal. It's like they have literally just taken all of the good bits and slabbed it, which I'm grateful for, because, well, it was broken, but it was a good game.
Medal of Honor was an awful game, Dave. I'm sorry.
Medal of Honor was awesome.
The second one, sorry, the Medal of Honor was okay. Medal of Honor, was it Warfighter? Was absolute dog turd.
Dave, you made me play it, and I played it for about 20 minutes, and I've never touched it again.
Yeah, but Dave,
that shows what I think of it.
In fairness, you know, how many games have you played where you have spent longer than 2 hours on them?
Literally hundreds.
You lie, because I've seen your Steam. I have seen your Steam.
Yeah,
it was like 20 minutes.
The ones I haven't played a lot of time on are the ones I got off Humble Bundle and didn't care about. So
thank you for proving my. See, Dave, this is what I'm talking about. Steam offers great value, but it's just games you're never going to fucking buy.
Oh yeah.
And you download them for 70 pence. And what a bargain! But I'm never gonna. I may as well just throw that 70p in the toilet. I'm never gonna play that game.
The way I look at it is, if I go to the cinema, it will cost me 10 quid. But if I buy a game on Steam for 99p and I play it for even an hour, that's still awesome value for money compared to going to the cinema or doing something else.
Right,
you're right, but if you go to the cinema, you go and you experience like social interaction.
Yeah.
You have the kid who you want to punch in the face. Who's
I experienced Ty Dallas, which I've played 11 minutes of, and Splice that I've played 4 minutes of. I'm looking down it now. Agreed, they weren't value for money, but
yeah, but no. I'm sorry. You're like, I've got 200 games. It's like, but you don't. You have like 8 that you've played.
In fairness, I've played probably more than half of that. I've played to a reasonable amount.
We've just been joined by Mike, who's obviously just finished his World of Tanks and decided to finally come over and join us. So say hello, Mike.
Hello.
we were just talking about Battlefield and other Battlefield-related things. We're actually talking at the moment about like value for money on Steam. I mean, you're a PC gamer. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I've played Battlefield on the PC and on the PlayStation, and I've just recently finished Battlefield 3 on both versions, actually.
What did you have you played Battlefield 4 though?
No, I haven't. No, hey, my friend, this is South Africa. We're still getting used to the fire and the wheel here, my friend. so give us a chance to get used to the new stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
By the time Battlefield 4 gets to us, we'll probably be busy with Civil War 2.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Please
I know
make
your
a quote.
podcast covered politics as well. I like this, but I'm going to come on every week for this.
Can I
Yeah.
quote some of Buzz's Steam times, please?
Yeah,
Like
go.
Batman Arkham City Game of the Year edition, 1.3 hours.
I only
Bit
bought that
free.
last night.
Bit free, 0.9 hours.
Yeah, I
Game of
bought that
Thrones.
last night as well.
Why have you got Game of Thrones? 0.3 hours.
That Game of Thrones came with one of the Humble Bundles.
Okay, Josh, I am gonna have to stop you because although it is hilarious hearing how slow and how how little time Dave has spent on his Steam games, he does have nearly 200. So
Look, just to defend myself a little bit here, Crusader Kings 2, 20 hours.
that's great.
down.
Company of Heroes, 98 hours.
Yeah.
Armored
Yeah,
go.
but come on, let's be
3.7.
honest. That's an awesome game. Of course, you're
Yeah.
going to spend 90 odd hours on that.
Exactly. In fairness, I'm really looking forward to when I finally get to build my PC and play Company of Heroes 2.
I'm looking forward to playing against you, Dave.
I'm sure you are. And
You'll
when
be
you get
good.
your ass handed to you repeatedly, time and time and time again, then maybe not so much, but you never know.
See how
Alright.
many achievements there is?
Calm down with
There's
the game.
384
Oh,
achievements.
come on, please. I'll play you at Company of Heroes. And by the time I'm finished with you, your shadow's going to need stitches.
Oh.
Right. Should we
Okay,
move on from
Battlefield
the
4.
hard
Let's
talk?
carry about Battlefield 4.
Yeah, let's
Off
let's
topic
start-
a little
okay,
bit.
Yeah. So,
Well, the thing is, I haven't actually seen much on Battlefield 4. So my only point of reference is what I went through going through Battlefield 2 Bad Company, then moving up to Battlefield 3. For me, the game's got a bit of issues in terms of playability, because I don't think the storyline's quite as diverse as they can make it. And the amount of vehicles that are available for usage in the game, I think should actually be more open.
in fairness, in Battlefield 4, they have actually remedied that. Like, for instance, on a map, we've actually got, we're at Extreme Gaming now, as I've said, we've actually got 2 people playing Battlefield 4 in front of us. And on the map they are, on the 360, which is the smaller, like the smaller 12, maximum's 12 versus 12.
Yep.
16 versus 16. It's 32 players.
Alright. But on the Xbox One, you can obviously go up to 32 versus 32. And on this version alone, you've got tanks, LAVs, jeeps, and then you can also have scout helicopters, transport helicopters, planes, attack helicopters, all playing at exactly the same time. It used to just be a case if you had attack helicopter, transport, and a couple of other things. Without making the games overpowered, they've tried to bring in everything.
Yeah, I think it's what the only problem I can see with Battlefield 4 at the moment on this generation is the maps are so big that they're clearly designed for 64 players, and at times it's just really empty, and you just run around. That's why I spend most of my time playing Domination or Team Deathmatch, purely because it's a smaller map and just getting the action quicker. Having played it on next gen and it's 64 players, it is insane.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
On the Battlefield 3, sorry cutting. Yeah, on Battlefield 3, the maps were massive, weren't they? Absolutely gigantic. And on a console...
Yeah, your soldier could die of starvation before shooting.
You had to run for miles before you saw anyone, but luckily, with the new generation and whatnot, you're getting that 64 players, aren't you? Which will hopefully bring the...
You did have that
combat.
with the PC before.
Yeah, it was big,
but my computer wasn't powerful enough.
Yeah, but how to put it, most games tend to cater towards the PC market. I mean, because of Battlefield 3, you had the 32 versus 32, but you had twice the number of choppers, twice the number of tanks. So it is actually the reason the maps were so big was so that when you went to PC, it was exactly the same size maps. We just had more of everything.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, when these taken into consideration, if you consider the amount of firepower that they've unleashed on it, right? You put it on a 64-man map, right? You watch some of these teams playing, and I'm telling you, even Charlie Manson's going, that shit ain't right. They just unload on each other. There's no real skill or tactics evolved yet.
What as a squad do your mates are is because you help out each other, don't you? With Battlefield 4, the vehicles and the classes are a bit more intertwined, aren't they?
I'd say what makes a big difference about Battlefield 4 is Commander mode. Coming back.
Oh man, I fucked that up.
That's actually if you actually got someone that plays properly in the Commander mode and communicates to the team. I mean, we did it here. There's only 5 of us, but we made a huge deal. I think we lost the game.
No, basically, I went as commander, and then Arthur was the squad leader for his unit, and then just had the other the 3 guys just literally following. And it was ridiculous because I just told Arthur, go here, bang, I'd supply drop him, I'd UAV it, bang, and he was just able to smash objectives.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's good.
So the person
Oh my god, what? Players listening to commanders? What a novel idea.
So the person
Thanks,
who's
guys,
commander,
thanks.
do they get anything extra? I take it they're not on the battlefield as well.
No,
No.
I'd like Battlefield 2 where you're a commander but also a soldier. In this one, you're completely taken away. You actually forfeit your points as a soldier if you decide to do it halfway through. But what you do is you get points for people completing your missions, accepting your orders, giving things so people can ask for like vehicles, and you give them a vehicle drop, you'll get points, all that kind of stuff.
Tomahawk missile. It's all about Tomahawk missile.
Oh mate, Tomahawk missile. That is just ridiculous. Just,
Isn't it? Sorry. Isn't it over the tablets?
You can do it over a tablet if you've got one to hand. I'm not sure if you can do it on the 360 version.
No,
I know it's there for next gen.
Yeah.
But we were doing it with just a control pad.
Oh god, it's so awkward though. That is one thing with the 360 when you're trying to, it snaps to like squads and stuff. So when you're trying to aim a Tomahawk, you'll be 99% of the way there, and then a squad member will come just within like half an inch of where you're aiming, and it will snap to him, and you'll press A, and you're like, "Fuck! I've just launched a Tomahawk missile at an incoming squad."
Run, Dave! Run! Quick!
Thankfully, team kill's not on.
You know you ordered a tank. Yeah. Well, you're not getting a tank. You are getting a Tomahawk missile.
My bad.
They do say that the element of surprise is a very big aspect.
And they were very fucking surprised. I just think in general Battlefield is it's growing in steps, not massive leaps. And I think that'll be the next Battlefield when it's full next gen.
No, but it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
And it's the sort of thing that's eventually going to dominate and take over from Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I think between this and Titanfall,
a lot of players. Well, the thing is, all the advantages lie on that side. Look at the graphics engine, the physics engine is much better.
Yeah.
Than
the
Modern
Frostbite
Warfare.
engine is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous.
It is beautiful.
It has been ever since it came out.
Yeah, and so I think when they hit next gen, they can actually do a next gen Battlefield because this is clearly held back by current gen, so that they haven't been able to. I mean, speaking to the devs at the Showdown, they know how to rein some of this stuff in because they wouldn't have made a workable build on this generation had they gone full next gen Battlefield. It's a workable-ish version.
Yeah, it's a workable-ish version.
Yeah, well, you see, the problem is developers can always come up with a crazy-ass version. I mean, that's light years ahead of everyone else. The problem is, they've got to build a version that's sellable to market. And not everyone's got the sort of systems to run what the developers would like to put in their dream game.
Well, the thing is, that's one of the advantages of console, is the fact, and in fairness, we were having this argument on one of Arthur's podcasts, one of the advantages of console is you know when you buy a day one console, or the Xbox One 3-4 years from now, you will be able to run the same game at roughly the same spec. Simple as. Well, yeah, roughly, because throughout the Xbox, you buy an Xbox One day one, you buy an Xbox 6 months later, the insides have been slightly modified because they found bits they need to improve on. However, the games will still run on it.
Yeah.
So, like this
I'll agree that. That is the one thing I would give console over PC. Like, as you all know, PC is my baby, but that is the one thing I will give console. And it's so much less of a pain to get stuff running when it's like, oh my god, you need to download this, or oh, this doesn't work.
I say console's like a third of
Well,
the price of
yeah,
PC
but you say
gaming.
this. We were discussing this as well. We're saying if you spend, like, if you already had a PC, okay, if you already had a PC, and you spent £500 on it, so just on a graphics card, motherboard, stuff like that, okay, you could probably get your PC to the same spec as a console, and it would last the same amount of time. The difference is, though, is that you wouldn't have the warranty or anything like
I
that.
disagree. And not because I'm on extreme gaming. The reason why,
Just
no,
extreme
the reason
gaming
why
is a
I agree with you
360
saying
centre.
you could have it to that spec of like the current next gen that's coming out, 500 quid without a doubt. But the problem lies not with the actual PC itself, but with the developers for it.
Yeah.
And I believe that PC developers are lazy, and rather than, I mean, you look at Crysis 2, again, nowhere near as beautiful as on PC, but look at that at the end of Xbox 360's lifespan as a game, it looks amazing compared to COD 2 was released. You'd never think it was the same console because they've got smarter using that tech, and they learn how to sweat that technology. On PC, they just go, oh, fuck it, we'll just make them buy another graphics card. And that's the problem you have with PC. It's always the case.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they're losing their originality. Like he says, they're just getting fucking lazy. What they're watching is what the console developers put together, and they'll go, well, we'll go fucking Chinese on them. And we'll just
maybe
copy,
that
paste,
is some
and
of the
tag.
problem as well. They look at the console and they go, well, we've got to make a game that works on console and PC and prioritize the console.
Yeah,
and then so you end up with we were mentioned Batman Arkham City. I started playing that last night, and the controls haven't even been ripped from the console properly, so it still shows up on the screen. Press enter and things as if you were playing the console.
Speaking of which, did you guys see in the Xbox video thing when they were like showing this new game on the Xbox Live YouTube stream, and it was of a PlayStation. It had all the
PlayStation 4. That was
did it?
That was Watch Dogs. That was Ubisoft fucked up massively.
Brilliant.
That's what it looks like on Xbox One, and everyone's like, wow, those are PlayStation buttons in the bottom corner. And Xbox, you know, somebody got fired for that. Somebody somewhere was like,
fair play.
Oops.
Could you say embarrassing moment?
Yes, exactly.
Because I can definitely say YouTube.
Yeah, but in fairness, he was playing on a PlayStation, so he should be burned alive. So, you know, he already had that going for him. Just saying.
Your Xbox One isn't just trying to be like PlayStation.
No,
they got murdered, didn't they, at the E3? What you got to admit, at E3 they got murdered.
Podcast.
Yeah, trust me. But you need to listen to Arthur's podcast on E3, which I'm in, okay? And trust me, we cover all of this because basically PlayStation has a very, very good PR team, and that's it. For instance, as I told you, you know this whole video recording whilst you're playing type thing.
Yeah.
That's not available at launch.
PlayStation. I don't sound like I'm slagging off PlayStation because it will be a really good console. The problem I have with PlayStation is they just lie through their teeth about absolutely everything, about game sharing, about just the whole shebang, and they are like a wolf in sheep's clothing. And they basically watched E3. Microsoft came out and said, "This is what we're about. We're quite honest about it." They said, "We understand it's about gaming. However, they also checked the stats and were like 63% of our users are using our app at any one time, so we're going to make this really cool user interface. Yes, we Connect is shit. However, this Connect is really good, and it is an amazing piece of technology." The internet went fucking booloo, and PlayStation, who were clearly lined up to say pretty much exactly the same thing with their like movie channels and their iToy thing, decided, well, what we'll do then is we just won't talk about these things and just say we're not doing it. And I know for a fact that their iToy camera was built into their business model pretty much up to a day before the announcement of the price at E3. And that there are, because I deal with a lot of the communities, there are a lot of people that are very angry that they've invested a lot of money into titles that use their camera, which now Sony is saying, well, you don't have to have our camera, it can be sold separately.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but what you got to consider, look at it from, no, I'm talking from a South African market point of view. All right. Now, in the gaming consoles, you've only got two main competitors. We all know this. It's Xbox and it's PlayStation.
What about Nintendo? Right? No, not the Wii. No?
What?
Yeah,
Nintendo. Nintendo you use for hijacking cars. You throw it through the windscreen.
True South African speaking there.
It's about the only useful function that Nintendo has. But other than that, it's PlayStation and it's Xbox. Now you get anyone old enough to eat solid foods, and you say the word PlayStation, and they know what it is, right? PlayStation has been indoctrinated into society.
However,
it's probably one of the
but
most success. The thing is, you could come out with a PlayStation 4 and you come out with an Xbox 360, right? 8 out of
Xbox
10
One.
people will buy the PS4 because the majority of them don't know the difference. You guys are talking high-end specs for
No. See, this
the
is
machines.
where in the sort of like UK market and everything. What's actually happened is that the PlayStation was big for the 1 and the 2. Then
Yeah,
when PlayStation 3 came out, it got absolutely dicked by the Xbox
it did.
360.
Xbox 360 just
I
took
know,
over.
because PlayStation 3 had several issues.
Yes, but what's
Oh,
happened then is
several, yes.
several, yeah. Basically, what's then happened is that people are now staying loyal to the Xbox, and after E3, Xbox, like everyone was like, "Oh, I'm not buying an Xbox, bro," and then slowly, as Sony's gone, "Yeah, you know how we said about this? That's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening." And Xbox is going, "Right, well, we've listened to the community. Personally, both me and Arthur agree what they've done is actually detrimental to progressing."
Microsoft always had the right product with the wrong message.
Yeah.
And whoever sat in their PR team and said, you know what we do? Rather than go out there and say, these are all cool things we've got, we're going to offer you a platform that's very much like a PC gaming platform you may have heard of, we're going to bring to consoles. They walked out on stage and went, fuck you, this is what we're doing, and you're going to have it. And if you don't like it, bollocks to you. And we can say that because we're Microsoft. And yeah, it worked really well for them. So
Yeah.
they ended up just getting, and PlayStation just sat and laughed and just like, that's great. And then they had someone like Don Matrix saying, yeah, well, it needs the internet to connect. But the only people who haven't got internet are people that work on submarines. And I was just like, you can't say that in PR. You just can't walk out and say that. The fact that Sony PlayStation 4 absolutely requires you to be online for it to work out the box because it has a day one patch has been totally skipped over because it's not good press. You know, only bad news sells. So.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the PlayStation has been very, very clever with their marketing and their PR. The Xbox was aiming to be like Valve Steam. That's effectively how it's going to be. You can share games by literally just giving a game to somebody, just gifting it. Bang, that's yours forever type thing.
As we've now gone on to consoles then, and
Yeah.
you've just basically mentioned Steam. Steam Box, go.
Oh yeah, Steambox. That looks
The thing
interesting.
that you should never, ever, 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 ever buy.
Buy it.
Don't. Why? Why would you buy it? Because if
you
it's
already
going to
have a
have
PC.
anywhere near the same price tag, and don't get me wrong, I love Mad Catz products, and I seriously do, but their Mad Catz,
I know, you never
the
shut up about
Mojo, okay, the Mojo, it's like 200 quid, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
like that
quite
is
steep.
very expensive for an Android-based gaming device.
Isn't the Steambox right? Doesn't it just stream it from your PC to your
Is that
living
even
room?
still happening?
Yeah.
It's got really quiet about it.
Yeah, that's gone quiet, but I think all it does is basically stream it from your PC running in another room to your TV, like the Nvidia Shield, the new handheld console they're bringing out.
Like
It's
the idea,
basically
the
just
idea basically
stream.
is that you have one box and it does everything, and it will be great because your PC will link into your, so you can sit in your sofa and play your PC games basically with a controller. But to be honest, if I'm playing a PC game, one of the reasons I'm playing it is because I get a keyboard and the mouse, not a stupid little controller. So
Yeah, it's a lot more
But
versatility.
I only have one query to that. Why would you sit in your sofa if you can sit on your sofa?
very true.
It looks promising though.
There's only one game I want on PC.
XCOM.
No, XCOM is on PC and it's just the best game in the universe. But the only game I want to buy a PC for is Star Citizen because it just looks incredible.
That looks. Oh my god, yes.
Look, there's one first-person shooter that I'm still waiting to come to market, and that's Warhammer, the 40,000. Now, they've constantly talked about releasing it, and then it gets pushed back. And then
Is this the MMO one?
Yeah, so this is the MMO
That's
one because
They cancelled it.
Yeah, it's been completely canned.
Oh my
Nice.
god, Star Citizen looks awesome.
Josh, I love you. You're like a slow child. It's like we talk about something and then you instantly Google it to see what we're talking about. But once
Yeah,
you
of course I do.
push past it, you're like, talk about
I've
that
never
again.
heard of it before.
Just on that Warhammer front, if you really, really want to play a Warhammer FPS, go play Space Marine. Space Marine is brilliant. It's a year or so old now, but it is.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I
get
had
it
a
for
crack
like
at
£7,
Space
I
Marine
think.
because since Warhammer came out, I've played almost everything that was ever released. The only one that was pretty much a disappointment to me was Retribution, which came out on Steam. Because the problem is, it's really fun playing it the first time round, but after that, Every time you play it, it feels like you've already done it.
There was an announcement. I can't remember the company that's making it. It was my only worry about it. They are making another Space Hulk game, and it's a first-person shooter. But I don't know. I can't remember the name of the company. It's like a really small team, and I'm a bit worried because Space Hulk, of all the first-person shooter companies that are out there, Space Hulk would be a really easy game to get right because it's just basically aliens. And they could really go to town with that. And I'm just worried that the company that are doing it, I've looked at the 3D model. I can't try and find the link for Dave for the podcast, but the model they put on the intro just doesn't look great. And compared to like what Relic did with Space Marine, the Space Marines looked like Space Marines. They moved like they had weight to them and all that sort of stuff, and they were still agile. This Terminator 3D model just it looked like.
I miss THQ because they did some good games.
There's some great games, but they also made you draw.
Yeah, that is true. This is very true.
No, but the thing is, look, at the end of the day, when you're talking about something like Warhammer's just not gaming. It's larger than that.
I am currently stood next to a man who owns nearly every one of the books. He does own like literally nearly every single one.
The Black
of the
Library,
books.
yeah. I've got 78 titles.
That's probably most of that. It's probably the heresy ones. Was it 26 of them are heresy novels?
And let's be honest, if I have a choice between the bad guys and the good guys, well, shit, Space Marines could make really good bad guys. They are. They're like the ultimate nutcases.
Yeah.
And
true.
But what kills me about you look at Warhammer, right? Take Space Marines for example. They're like literally invincible soldiers. Right, but apparently when they go into war, they need to stand about 4 yards away from the opposition to fucking shoot them. It's like the weaponry's not really all that cool. That's probably why they need to be armored like shit.
They are bad guys. They're the indoctrinated foot soldiers of like a human galactic empire.
It's
just
you go to chaos or you go to fascism.
In fairness, I don't see the problem here. I mean, some guy like in some Austrian guy did really well, like in the sort of like late 30s. He had these indoctrinated guys. They seem to do quite well.
Yeah, but that's the
For
problem.
About 10 years,
as Arthur just said, as Arthur just said, you've got fascism or you've got chaos. There isn't a middle ground.
What about fascism?
No, I tell you what, the Tau might want to disagree with you.
Oh yeah, the Tau. Yeah, I suppose they're like democracy.
Yeah, they're communists.
For the greater good.
And they've got really
we saw
awesome
how well that
Hellfire
one
missile
fucking
gunships.
I think there is. I mean, we're delving off something a little bit. I think there's a novel which is the Blood Drinkers, where this chapter of Space Marines sort of they're excommunicated and called traitors, but they're actually not traitors. They get sort of tainted by chaos, but they reject chaos and they reject the Imperium. They just basically become actual good guys. They go to the planet and say, look, if you want to come join us, that's cool. But we're not here for chaos, and we're not here for the Emperor because he's a bit of a dick, really. So we're just going to get chased by fucking everybody.
Of all the creatures in the Warhammer universe, one of my favorites of all of them are the orcs. For the simple reason they can be outnumbered 4,000 to 1, and they'll be going, right, you 4,000 are gonna shit.
Yeah.
And you always know where you stand with orcs.
Yeah,
Like,
I tell you what,
they
may be dumb, but they're incredibly consistent.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So
Yeah, slightly off topic.
I tell you what, one game that is actually coming out, and Arthur has actually managed to play, and he loves it dearly, is actually XCOM, the new XCOM.
Wow.
What's it called?
So I'm going to let you just speak about that for a little while.
Well, I am like the number one. If anyone follows me on Twitter, every day I tweet about something about XCOM. And so I got invited to play, and I've been sent a copy of the new XCOM, or it's basically XCOM Enemy Unknown and the expansion, which is called XCOM Enemy Within. On console, it's a whole new title, so it's just called XCOM Enemy Within. But I think on PC, it's downloadable as an expansion.
Yeah, it's just 18 quid as a DLC.
And it's basically it's the same story. So imagine the same originals. If any of you played the new one, it's the same timelines, start, middle, end. But it just chucks in like all these new units, all these new maps, all these extra new missions. You've got like mech units where you've got to sacrifice like soldiers and turn them into giant zombie robots. You've got like you can make the cybernetic soldiers using this new resource, which you have to play differently in order to capture on the map. It changes the whole way you play. It really is just fucking incredible. I played XCOM way back in '95 when it was the original, and they've even brought in stuff like base assaults and stuff like that. So it's like a real fan service. It just is incredible. So yeah, it comes out this Friday, and on Friday my Twitter will just go silly just saying you need to go buy this game.
In fairness, I was watching Arf play it here at X3, and it just, oh man, I mean, I've already got I had the original, not the original, so the XCOM Enemy Unknown, and I was like, this is actually pretty sweet. This is looking pretty good. And then I was literally sat there next to him, just going, I kind of hate you now. He was like, why? I was like, well, because I kind of want to get it for PC so I can have my troops and then just have the DLC. I was like, but that's like 35 quid, and the game's going to be new on the Xbox, so around about the same, 35, 40 quid. So it's like, either way, you're spending almost the same amount.
So it's, for those that obviously that are listening and don't know, it's a turn-based strategy game, and they're very few and far between, really.
They are.
But it's got so many layers. Yeah, it's got so many layers to it. So you've got like your troops that go out on the missions. If they survive, then they get upgraded. You can customize and name them.
Oh, you can give them medals now,
you can issue them medals now in Enemy Within. Which like give them permanent buffs. Once they die though, they're dead, they're gone forever. And that's the thing with XCOM is if you play it on easy, you're just wasting your time. If you put it on classic or above, it literally does take pleasure in kicking your nuts every 2 or 3 hours. You think you've got the game sussed, and it just takes a massive shit down your neck. But that's one of the reasons why you love it.
Here's a fucking blast from the past. You all should know this one. Remember a title when it first came out, Homeworld?
Oh,
Homeworld.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What do you mean Homeworld? Oh my god, you can see the
I said
Mickey
yes.
baby here.
that's another Relic title, isn't it? Oh, it was a Relic title, yeah.
Then you had Homeworld 2, which was pretty much just dash and polish on Homeworld.
Mm-hmm.
But with the new graphics engines out there, and new physics, could you imagine someone coming out with a similar title that would have the same sort of effect coming to market?
Well, I've got some good news and some potentially horrifying news for you on that one. Because the Homeworld franchise has been bought, which is fantastic, and they're going to do another one.
Who?
Gearbox, who made Alien.
Oh, no.
But, right, Gearbox also do Borderlands. So if they actually
But they also did Aliens.
yeah, but they didn't actually do Aliens, did they? They just bought the right to Aliens and Duke Nukem, and then just let some other
Shut
company
it
just
out.
fucking release
Oh.
it. If Gearbox actually make this game, it might be good. But if they turn around and go, well, we need something to fill the fourth quarter, so these interns that they got fuck all to do, make us a coffee, and once you've done that, just make this 3D space strategy thing. We'll put Homeworld on it. It'll sell fucking shitloads. It doesn't matter what it looks like when we advertise it, because we won't sell that product. We'll just sell something totally different.
You see, that's a thing that worries me, right? Because you're fucking around with a game title, right, that has a real following, right? It was an iconic game when it came out, especially in terms of three-dimensional space strategy.
This is the thing, the reason why me and Arthur are so worried, and everybody else is that they took Aliens, Colonial Marines, and they made it, like the trailers, you were like, yes, I want this game, then you played it, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Why did I buy this?
I bought it for me and my brother to play because he was bored and he was on leave from the army, so he bought it just to like play split screen. Playing it, the most boring, tedious game I've ever played in my life. It was so repetitive, it was unreal.
I'll be on record, I didn't mind it, right? I actually quite enjoyed it. It was bugged to fuck and looked nothing like what they actually advertised. But I quite enjoyed it because it had Hicks in it. And no homo, but I was like, he's still alive, so I was quite happy with that. And if you ever played a DLC, which I did actually buy, yeah, I'd give him another £3.
Oh god.
The story is actually really good. Like, whoever did the story DLC, they should hire to do basically the whole game. Even if he couldn't do graphics, he still would have had a better job. But the story is actually really cool. It explains how Hicks is, like, survives and stuff like that, and how he becomes on the Slarko and not on Fury 159 or whatever it is. But yeah, the game was just there were moments where you glimpse where it could have been. This could have been the game.
Well, Dave, me and you played it here at X2. It was the one that we did co-op not too long ago. The Aliens game.
We only played about half an hour and then we got bored, if I remember.
No, we spent quite a while, if you remember.
That was trying to get into a lobby.
Yeah, that was it. Ages.
For some reason, it just wouldn't do it.
I tell you what, you know what for me is the hallmark of a successful game, regardless of the genre, right? Is one that you have played to completion and you want to play it again.
Yeah, that is true. Like Company of Heroes.
For me is the hallmark of a successful game.
Company of Heroes is different because Company of Heroes, for instance, like I'll buy Company of Heroes 2 and I'll probably barely play it online versus other people because even though I find that fun, I love playing skirmishes against AI.
Yeah, same.
just purely just being able to go, I know what you're going to do here. I know you're going to cross that lake, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for you to have the biggest army crossing that lake possible,
I got
and
a
then
funny story
RT
about
the
that game.
shit out of it so that you just crush through the ice.
I always used to play this one map on Company of Heroes 1 where the river used to run through the middle, like some ruins on the other side.
Saying crossing?
Yeah. I just used to make like tank traps and funnel them through an area.
And they just
ton
put
of
like a flak
bunkers each
88
side.
at the other end.
And like 2 flak 88s and just sit there and watch them getting slaughtered.
Mate, they go
Yeah, but flak 88 was an obscene fucking weapon to have on Company Heroes.
Yeah,
It
Because
was.
its range for killing tanks, by the time the tank figured out what was going on, it's
dead.
like a parliamentarian. It's already too late.
Right.
It's pretty much dead.
But I'm gonna try and put this back on track.
We don't need actual topics.
We don't need extra.
Right,
But
let's
I
get
did
back
say
on the
we would
rails.
talk about ghosts.
Call of Duty.
Oh
Yeah. Well, in
Um,
fairness, I will put in the video to show you this. But my favourite point about the new Call of Duty Ghosts is the opening scene
Copy and
is
paste.
identical to the closing scene with Price in Mod 2.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, Mod 2.
It is
I mean,
identical.
it is literally identical.
I watched
it's
it
like-
on YouTube the other day. Sorry.
If only they'd sold maybe a few more copies, maybe they would have had the money.
I think they're just going along with the current Activision trend of we know no one actually buys this game for the single player story, so fuck it.
Copy and paste.
We'll just put whatever we want in. I mean, the Black Ops 2 had, you know, a
decided
band
horse.
at the end of it with just shit going on in cloaking suits, wrist darts. Like Boba Fett was in the game. It was just mental. And I think the Infinity Wards have just gone. Well, if they can do that, let's see what we can do. So we'll have a space station, giant rods that fall from space. We'll put aliens in it, and we'll have this guy just copy and paste the original ending from 2 and see if anyone fucking notices, because no one's going to play it. Unlucky for them, the 3 people that played it are the same 3 people that played the single player campaign for any other Call of Duty.
AKA Dave.
Yeah.
And the guy that spotted it was like, yes, this is the moment. This is my time for fame. I'm the only one that's going to sing this. So I'm going to shout it out to the world and tell them why you should play the single player campaign to find mistakes.
But in fairness, what we did
no.
love was that Brycey, who's supposedly the community manager here for Extreme Game, but he just does fuck all, in fairness.
He looks pretty, man. He looks pretty and wears tight t-shirts. Come on.
Yeah, basically, and does his hair a lot,
Mhm.
a lot. But anyway, we were actually watching the E3 launch, and they actually showed Call of Duty Ghosts. They showed some of the new things. He's obviously he's a codcaster, and he's actually got a couple of people on Twitter, and they were tweeting live saying there's no codcasting ability, which is like the main thing that sells COD, is that you have this codcasting.
E-sport, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, and they've just gone, so this multi-million-pound prize that we did in LA for Black Ops 2, literally $1 million up for grabs. Flow people out from the UK over there, ridiculous salaries, the 9 yards. And they went, yeah, fuck that for the new one. Won't bother with that.
It's the problem when you have 2 different companies working on the same game franchise.
Yeah.
And they don't, and they're notoriously competitive, and they don't want to copy each other for ideas. But in fairness, right, in Call of Duty's defence, I play Call of Duty. I'm not very good at it. I play it for fun. But what you could never say Call of Duty isn't good at is picking up and just being able to immediately play it. And for all the Call of Duties that have been and gone, they've all been a very solid shooter, regardless of what anyone might say.
No,
They've all been able to like go online. You'll get a kill, get killed, but you've all been able to do it. And I think sometimes it gets a hard time because people are just like, oh, well, it's Call of Duty, and I get that. I do get it. And like we go, well, it's not shit. It's
Yeah,
just
but
a different way
the
of
problem
playing
with
games.
some of the Call of Duties is when you play them, right? Like it says, solid first-person shooter. It's for a person who's not familiar with FPSs. If
It's a
you're going to
great
get
starting
into them, it's an absolutely great starting point to get in. It's user-friendly, but for those that have had any time in Call of Duty, you get the feeling when you're in it, it's just missing that extra pinch of salt.
Yeah.
It's
become almost
there,
a grind now.
and
It's become almost a
it's
grind.
like as they
Yeah.
almost got to the completion of the project, they decided, oh well, let's fuck it, go for beers, and that's how they packaged it. Because some of the storylines on some of the Call of Duties starts
it's
off
been
really
so
great,
boring.
strong middle, piss poor ending.
Yeah.
Because no one ever guessed the ending. It doesn't matter.
I'm not gonna lie, I completed Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, was it? Yeah, 2.
Yep.
No, number 3. So number 3. Recently,
way back in 1801.
Yeah. And
That's when you
guess,
still put money on the side of the screens to let them work.
including cutscenes, right? Guess how long it took me to complete it, including cutscenes.
Probably
I
about
don't know.
4 hours.
3 hours, 12 minutes,
That's not
including
bad.
cutscenes.
But
For
okay.
£40, I want a lot more for £40 out of a game.
Yeah, but you say that, but Homefront was titled as being one of the possibly the best campaigns.
Yeah, that was
Homefront
only
shooting
like
all
4 or
time.
5 hours.
And that was
campaign
only
was awful though.
But that's the thing. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. But everyone was like hailing it as this
It was
great
so
campaign.
generic. It was like, here's the bad guys. They're all in different colours, so identify them for you. Oh,
Yeah,
cheers,
true.
Mr. Korean General. That's really handy for us fighters. You could just label everybody up with different coloured uniforms. That makes our job really fucking easy. So, cheers.
What I was going to say is,
Alright.
as we've just like spent I've spent quite a while slagging off a game. One of the things that's been going around at the moment is, what is your game of this generation?
Oh, that's hard.
So that's what I was about to put to you. So before you go off about what games you love, I tell you what, we'll start with Buzz, just because I want to absolutely shit on him. So
Thanks, mate.
that's all right, no worries, mate.
I'm actually confused as to what the question you're asking is, to be honest.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter whether it's console, or whatever, but a game of this console generation, so this generation
right,
of gaming.
PlayStation.
Last 7 years then.
Yeah,
so
that
That
last
goes
7 years.
the last 7
Pokemon.
years.
Fuck's sake.
Oh, God. Well,
I'll tell
I've
you mine
played
now.
every Halo game that's come out,
God
and I
of
know
War.
Halo gets a lot of stick, but Halo has been with me this whole time.
Okay, but which one?
Oh, that's such a hard question,
Because
Dave.
that's a franchise, not a game, Dave.
Yeah,
Considering
but they're all
your
roughly the same.
I don't know. I really.
For me, Halo 4 is the best Halo there was.
I did like Halo 4, but I tell you what, I loved Reach. I know not an awful lot of people did, but I really
I didn't
liked
dislike
it.
it. I thought Reach was great. I just think Halo 4 was the best Halo.
Storyline was. A
For
bit
me,
different
it was
places,
God
though.
of War.
That's a good game. I must
Okay.
admit.
So that's your
It's-
game. Okay, would you like to
Let's put
elaborate?
it this way. Look, just for a single character-driven
By Rage.
kick-ass game, who's better than Kratos? He's either a
Master Chief.
really good bad guy or a really bad good guy.
Really
And even
bad
playing it
good
all
guy.
the way to the end, all you know is the dude has something slightly wrong with him. He's like Captain Jack Sparrow with very sharp implements.
If they make another one, you've got to have that as the box quote. It's like playing as a really angry Captain Jack Sparrow
With sharp weapons.
With really sharp
with
pointy
really
things.
sharp, pointed things.
It's magic. But having said the story, for story-based action games, God of War so hit the mark.
Yeah.
Because you played through the stages to get to the cutscenes, because the cutscenes were so well done.
I've got. In fairness, I'm actually not sure what my game of the year is, but I'm leaning with Arf towards the Halo because the.
I didn't say it's my game of the year. It's
Okay,
generation.
okay.
Just to
fair
clarify,
Fair enough.
I know what my one is.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, that's true. I do know what your is. I'm actually going to go with Reach then as my game of the generation, purely because
But it has no real world guns in it, Dave.
Yeah. Well, I can't go with it.
At no point do
It's
they
got a
show a picture of a
sniper rifle in
rifle
it,
where
though,
you
so
can
he
touch
loves it.
yourself.
It's true. It is true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do love Dragon Rising. Flashpoint Dragon Rising.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
a good
one
game.
hell of a game. That is one hell of
Oh,
a
it
game.
gets so
But
annoying though.
that's
Can
because
you
you're shit
die?
at it. There's a
Okay,
difference
have to rub it in. Yeah, I
But-
am, to be honest.
But I did like that because you had like the tactics of that kind of stuff. In fact, it took an awful lot of Battlefield's taken an awful lot of aspects for it. We had the commander that told the troops where to go and all that. But anyway, I'm digressing. I liked Reach because it kind of like it followed the Halo path, but you were your own soldier. You were always
Yeah.
the Master Chief before. And the one thing that I hate about it is that your guy, okay, he doesn't die. You know, he only ever goes MIA, and you never actually see him die. But they kill him at the end. And it's like I bought the Legendary Edition, so I got to see like the developers, and they were saying that like it was a big split in the development. They were like, "Well, do we kill them?" And like basically all of the developers and all of the like testers and everything were like, "No, you can't. This guy's just spent the entire game keeping this guy alive. For him to die in the final cutscene would be such a dick move." And then all
Sounds
the
about right.
PR people and everybody else in the company went, "Yeah, do it." So they did it. It really fucked me off because it's like
It's all about brand, isn't it? Master Chief is that brand. So
yeah, but you could have him alive and then just have him like
but it's
lost until like Halo 12.
But they don't want that. They just want to market the Master Chief.
Arthur, I wouldn't even bother. I've had this argument with him so many times. I wouldn't even bother.
My game of choice, it actually relates to what Dave just said about your favourite character being killed off in the end. Red Dead Redemption.
Spoilers!
I love that game to death. I got so attached. I got so attached to that game. It became part of my life. And at the end, when he died, I cried. I sat in the corner.
An idea. I've played that game,
no.
and I loved that game so much, I ended up grounding my kid for 5 days. Because he wouldn't let me on to fucking play it.
The thing about that game is obviously where I work. I got to see the end. Now I'd played that game all the way through. I think I got to like 2 missions from the end, and I saw what happened at the end. So I decided to just not finish the game. So in my game, Masterson is still alive, just going "fuck you, fate." I can do what I want.
It killed me because I thought, why didn't you just go around the back and kill those dudes? No, you had to walk out. No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Think how I felt. I was like you says. I was 2 stages from the end. What happens? My 12-year-old son comes in. He dies in the end.
So you throttled him to death, yeah?
I hit him with his sister. I don't believe in striking my child directly.
And then you got to play as his son, which is the most pressing, whiny character in the world.
And he doesn't even have a proper mustache.
No! What's up with that? Yeah, so I reverted my game save and then downloaded Red Dead Redemption Zombies and played that instead. I refused to finish the game again. I was gutted, I was absolutely gutted.
Okay, well, also about other games that people die in at the end, can I just say, and this is massive spoilers if you haven't played it, but, well, fuck you, you should have committed it. Mass Effect 3, like the different endings.
When he dies, oh my god.
Yeah, well, fuck you, my guy didn't die. Okay?
I accidentally incinerated the entire world.
Accidentally?
How do you accidentally incinerate the entire
I don't
world of
know.
Mass Effect?
It may have been some decisions I made. I blew up in Earth and the rest of the galaxy.
It's like there's a big red button and it's like, well, do not press it. And you're like, well...
I shot up the thing and it exploded. And everything went red and everything got incinerated. Big Ben just disappeared.
You picked Control.
Yeah.
But you didn't live at the end.
I had a decision.
Yeah, no, you went with the same one as me, which is you went really bad. You went you survived.
If you watch at the end, if you watch past the credits, you see his chest plate and you see him breathe right at the end.
Oh, I kind of skipped the credits. I got really so destroyed. I was like, never playing this again.
If you watch Mass Effect 2 as well, I think they've got it in Mass Effect 2. There's always extras after the credits, like Halo. There is always extras after the credits. So.
But why bother waiting? Just YouTube it.
But why did he need to? Why did he need to survive? Because I accidentally killed the entire human race and multiple other races. And if you're by yourself, what's the point?
Well, no, they only kill people in that system.
Yeah.
Think of all the free cars and stuff sitting about.
It went to every single part of the galaxy.
It destroys all the relays, but it doesn't destroy the planets.
Yeah, so like my one...
everything disintegrated. It massive red thing, everything disappeared.
Josh, you do realise this isn't real, by the way, mate.
I know, but I got so attached to this game as well.
Josh is genuinely now crying. He's rocking himself slowly in his chair.
I got so attached to his game. It's unreal. I went downstairs and just sat there quietly, just staring.
See, now,
how is it over?
Arthur still maintains that I was the worst Captain
You were
Shepherd.
the fucking worst Captain Shepherd ever.
Fuck off! I saved, like, fucking everyone.
Yourself at every opportunity. Everybody else in your crew was fucking expendable. Right, we've got to go there. Everyone got issued a red shirt on your crew. It's like, right, this looks vaguely dangerous. Garrus, off you go. What's happening over there? But, sir, if you do this, I might die. Yep. That's correct. But you know what won't happen? I won't die. Off you go.
You can just see him. I am here for you guys. You can depend on me. Now, if you'll just stand in front of me.
Yeah. I'm right behind you. 30 feet right behind you.
Yeah, you can see in a fight, he'd just get hit twice. It's the 2 times he looks back to see while he's running away.
But, Okay, so I've done my game. Dave, did you come up with yours in the end?
Well, I think I'm with you on Reach, because I was debating between that and ODST, because I'm probably the only person who actually really liked ODST. But
I don't mind it.
Wasn't ODST just Halo again, just copy and paste? Play?
No, ODST was actually very different.
It's like noir, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he went with the Special Forces normal troops, not the Spartans. So you took like damage a lot quicker than you did.
Although you did manage to take out a fuckload of elites and brutes on your Jack Jones, which made you think to yourself, don't really need the Spartans.
No.
I just fell like 1,000 feet, smashed my body up, came out, wiped out a whole battalion on my own, and there's 4 of us, so I don't really need the Master Chief.
And
Why
blinded everyone
Why
with your
are we
awesome awesomeness.
Yeah.
No.
I liked ODST, or as all the little kids used to call it, odds.
Odds. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did. My mates still call it odds.
Yeah.
Right.
are these all your
so-
10-year-old mates?
The other one's locked in the basement.
Yeah, exactly. I can just see Arthur's sponsors just slowly walking out the door right now.
They're walking slowly because that's the hypno taking effect. They won't get very far.
And the
If
roofies
you
are
all
coming in.
have you all ever had the problem with age restrictions on games?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, look, me as a parent, I've got a child.
Oh man, seriously, that is such
He
a
wants
sore
to play
point
games.
for
Now,
Arthur.
there's an age restriction rating on these things, right?
Yeah, I'll let Arthur take that one because
For me, it's crackerjack, right? Because I'd have my ex-wife going, well, don't you think that's a little bit violent for him? And I'd go, have you bothered to watch CNN?
Yeah.
In 20 minutes, he'll see more violent things. Even worse than that, watch The Roadrunner.
Yep.
The poor old
Yeah,
coyote
the guy
gets
was
more
a
shit
dick.
done to him in 5 minutes than what Kratos does to anyone in the next 3 hours.
well, in fact, to give you a point on the cartoons point, you know, Jerry,
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry, that's the other one. Thank you. They actually fall in love, and because they fall in love and they're a cat and mouse, they then commit suicide by laying on the train track where the train comes towards them.
What?
What the fuck are you talking about, Dave?
You
Seriously.
talking about Tom and Jerry?
Are
You're
you
not
sure
talking
you
about
weren't
Tom
on
and Jerry.
LSD when you were watching this?
No, you can YouTube it. I won't post a link because it's
You
so
just
fucking
ruined
short.
my
but
childhood.
Genuinely, if you YouTube the last ever episode of Tom and Jerry, they fall in love and kill each
There's
other.
no way that happens. I refuse to believe that
I
any sick
refuse to
fuck
believe
came up with that
this, no.
idea.
Seriously, I promise.
Well,
I'll
I tell
later
you
on.
what, regardless how that goes, my favorite cartoon of all time is The Roadrunner.
Yes.
And I tell you what,
Yeah.
for one persistent motherfucker, just once, I'd like the coyote to win.
He does. He catches him.
Because that
and then he
Roadrunner
goes,
for
what now?
me is the most
Yeah, he
irritating.
does.
But having said that, the coyote's the dumbest fucker in the world. For the
Yeah.
simple reason, right?
Well, he
How many
says
years
that,
has this
but-
gone? And you would think he would start
Yeah,
buying his
true.
supplies from someone other than the acting company.
It is true. But do you know what I love that ruins that cartoon for me? I'm just going to ruin it for the rest of you.
Thanks, Dave.
No,
a
blah, 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 blah,
a
blah,
roadrunner
blah.
can only run at like 16 kilometers an hour, whilst a coyote can go up to 25. So basically, the roadrunner go beep beep, and the coyote just go, yep, gotcha. It'd be literally over that
But it's a
quick.
cartoon.
Yeah,
though.
but that doesn't help
Yeah, it's
because
not
the
real.
In the
Roadrunner
same
then
way
paints
that-
a tunnel on a brick,
Yeah.
and guess what? The coyote runs in it.
You
Hey,
don't
rock
often
boots from
see
Acme.
coyotes travelling around the savannah on a giant red rocket. I haven't seen
often, it
any
does
of David
happen.
Attenborough's shows where he's gone, see here now, the coyote on his rocket, chasing the Volt.
But okay, so we have done mine, Buzz's, we've
Mine
done
as well.
Mike's, Josh.
We're done.
Josh. Have we
Yeah,
done?
mine
No,
was Red Dead
Arthur's.
Redemption.
Arthur's. We still need Arthur's.
Oh shit, yeah, Arthur's.
Mine is Skyrim.
Yes.
I love XCOM will always be my game of all time, but for this generation, it's going to be Skyrim because
Not
Skyrim.
even Fallout.
Well, it's the same company sort of thing, isn't it? But it's
It's
just
it's tight. It's very tight.
yeah, it's just the way Skyrim's world feels more complete than Fallout's did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
graphics
In that-
look
in-
a lot better as well.
Yeah, it is just genuinely a beautiful game. The music is beautiful. There are so many more little touches in it. Like, it doesn't ever. You've got a story, which I don't think I've even bothered doing. I've done like 60 hours, and I think I've done like one of the main story missions.
Yeah, same.
Plus, the
Lots.
thing is, you look at Fallout. What doesn't Fallout have? Where's the magic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is,
Skyrim has that. Everyone,
Skyrim is just perfect.
everyone in their inner child wants to be in that fantasy world.
Yeah.
Skyrim
He's a child now.
No, it's where you're your everyman hero.
Yeah.
I think the world of Skyrim is way more inviting than because Fallout is. I love Fallout, but the world is really bleak and it's quite a depressing place to run around in. Whereas Skyrim
it was South
genuinely...
Africa. They just copied and pasted.
Whereas Skyrim is so beautiful. You stand on a mountain and you get like the northern lights and shit like that, and I was just like, wow, man, this game
on that beautiful front though, like just to make a point about gaming in general. If you look at sort of the history, we've gone from 2D and like, vector graphics are the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And then we got shading, and then it was like, oh my god, 3D best thing ever. And now we're hitting games like Skyrim, and it's coming out, and it does look amazing. And loads of people go, nah, it's not good enough. Let's mod it and make epic graphics packs and things.
Yeah.
Even
it's
the
quite
next
interesting
generation.
how now we don't have the wonder at it anymore.
Have you seen some of the just like one-off fluke things from the next generation? Some character models.
Mm-hmm.
They just look so over detailed. It's unbelievable.
I think for me, in terms of what the step comes next, it's the Oculus Rift device.
Oh,
Yeah.
man,
That's
so
what
good.
will change after this generation, because you can make games look prettier and prettier and prettier. That's great, but it's how you immerse that person in that world.
Yeah.
Having used Oculus Rift, I just came away, and it was like the first time I ever played Wolfenstein on a PC in Dixon's in Marble Arch when I was like 10. And I walked away going, fuck, wow, this game's fucking amazing. And just how you do it, and you're walking around. And I put Oculus Rift on.
Look, at the end of the day, a thing that makes a game epic, there's got to be...
Storyline.
How would one put it? There's got to be a smell, there's got to be a smell to it.
There's got to be, I get what you're trying to say, there's got to be that special something. There's got to be...
The spark.
Yeah, the little spark.
It's how it immerses you. It's how it grabs you and pulls you away from reality and into the game you're playing. And if a game can do that, then it's one.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. I think it's the storyline, to be honest. Storyline is just
I would agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that you have games that have absolutely incredible storylines, but like the gunplay isn't very good, or it's buggy as hell. Okay, take Space Marine. Okay, when it launched, the storylines was go here, kill a whole lot of shit, go here, kill a whole lot of shit, because that's what Space Marines do. The game was atrocious when it launched because of the servers and things like that. So I think it's got to be a whole package. The reason why Company of Heroes, #1, is played so much that Steam, when they heard that Relic and Sega were pulling the servers, brought their own Company of Heroes servers so you can now play it, continue to play it, was because that game just clicked. It wasn't very buggy, everything worked, everything just worked straight to the back.
It's not about the graphics and it's not about the features a lot of the time. Like, if you take games like FTL and things like that, it's about a concept that makes you go, wow. You want to do it again. Like FTL, just because it happens to be on my screen at the moment, you can be dead in 20 minutes and go, oh, I want to do that again. Whereas some games, you're like,
That is XCOM in fairness. XCOM is basically... I mean, Arthur saw me get really fucked off where I had a squad, and for some reason they'd just given me like a shit hot squad. Like, they started off with like really good sight, really all this kind of stuff. And one of my guys fired a rocket, and instead of going the 2 feet forward I needed it to go, it went like 3 foot right and just wiped out like 2/3 of my squad in one hit. And I was just like, okay, fuck you, XCOM.
XCOM, baby.
Yeah, for storyline, XCOM, the Bureau, that's actually got a reasonable storyline in it, but the game is just so fucking drab.
A thing that kills me with all game players is this. You'll get those game players, and I'm sure you've all run into them. They'll buy a new game. Love it. First thing they do, load up the cheats, and they zoom through it. For me, I'd be asking myself, what's the fucking point?
You're wasting your own money if you do that.
No, you're doing something worse than that. You're skipping the sense of achievement you gain by getting it right.
Well, I liked it in was it Capitalization 2? It was basically a game where you built up a company and you had to like build. For instance, you had to own a farm. You didn't have to own a farm. You could either buy milk from the farm, or you could then build a farm to then buy milk from it and all this kind of stuff to make products.
Sounds so exciting.
It's not bad. Anyway, it's quite funny. There was cheats, and when you put the cheats in, you like played the game and everything, and then when you completed it and you went to go into the Hall of Fame, he goes, "No, you cheated." So it didn't tell you at all until you completely were finished, and you're like, "Save out, done."
There was a really interesting thing about piracy. I can't remember what the game was.
It was done by Greenleaf Media. Wasn't it?
And it was a game about making computer games. Funny enough, and people that torrented it. And it just made it impossible for you to win. And they post up a list of pictures of people actually asking that the community manager, going, I don't know why your game's broken, man. I keep getting done for piracy, but yet I've done everything in the game to stop piracy happening, and my game's not working. And they're like, yeah, because you've got a file, because you pirated the game yourself. So I like the idea. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. And they showed that it was 87% of people who played the game who torrented it.
Yeah.
I had it on my iPod. That one where you had to make your own games. What game? I actually did not torrent it. I downloaded it legally.
Good.
But I got really stressed out epically.
Yeah.
Because
well done for actually paying for a game. Well done, Josh.
It was like 59p.
Outrageous.
Yes, exactly. God damn it.
What happens when a Steam sale comes on?
You buy everything. You have no self-control, and you don't even have to type in your password to press buy. You just go buy, and it goes, okay, I'll take your money.
5 minutes later, you have like 30 new games which you'll never play again, Dave.
I play approximately a third of the games that I own.
But you wouldn't do that with Xbox games, would you? If game had a sale on, okay, it had like 50% sale on, you would not go in there and go, I'm buying all of these. You would actually still walk into that store and go, because it's a physical copy, you can actually look at it, you go, I don't know actually, no, I'll take those instead.
I beg to disagree, because I've recently bought XCOM Declassified, Sniper Elite Zombies, what else is there? Command & Conquer 4, and something else.
No, that game's awful. Don't open that.
1 minute.
Don't do it.
And a few other games which I bought on game sale, and I haven't touched them yet.
Good stuff.
So
that was good.
Along with
that was money well spent, Josh. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, but it's look, you buy any pack of games, fucking 5 in 1, 10 in 1, whatever it is. You know, at least 30% of them are going to be utter shit.
Yes,
they're just loading it in there to sell the games.
Yeah.
They're just getting their storehouses cleaned out.
I can't remember the exact statistics, but it was someone had done it about Steam. And basically, if they put 10 games in a pack, there's one game that you want that you don't own. Probably in that pack, there's 3 or 4 games that you did want, but you already own. So you're buying something again that you already own. So effectively, they're giving you nothing for money. And then there's 4 or 5 games that you'll never play. So really, even though you're getting 10 games, there's only one game in that pack that you'll actually play. It's a winner for them.
Like Orange Box, that ruined it all for me. That did. There's so many...
The only man in history to ever say Orange Box ruined it all for me.
Don't get me wrong.
My life was over, man.
It's so good. I walked into shops and seen them with like other games, like bundled together, and I was just gutted because I thought, oh, I've already got them. There's no point in me even bothering.
I might as well go kill myself now.
Exactly. Just you're the most dramatic man I think I've ever seen.
It's like the ending of Mass Effect all over again.
I know, it's traumatizing. I was left with PTSD after that.
PTSD? That's interesting. Is that like PTSD but different?
PTSD, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, good news. Guess what? The new BioShock Infinite expansion pack has been released.
Oh, the
I've
one
got a code for that to download. I'll play that tonight.
It looks beautiful.
Apparently, it's really, really dark. The story is really, really dark.
I prefer that though.
I thought you might
dark.
Any of you ever play Jericho?
Yes, that was just
Clive Barker one,
mind blog.
Yeah.
My head just span after that. I couldn't sleep.
I tell you what, something I want to pick up on actually, just very quickly. I was reading New Scientist magazine because I'm like a complete buffing and geek.
Whoa! You can read?
Fuck you, Dave.
Scientist?
Don't worry, there's pictures involved.
Yeah. And it was talking about DayZ, the game that came from World War II and is now being standalone and all that kind of stuff. And it's talking about how in DayZ there is a moral compass to the players because they know that if they shoot someone, they get completely reverted back to zero. That's it. They're entitled, no matter what they've done, no matter what they do, bang, back to zero with some water, some food, and that's it. No contacts, no nothing. And there's like a little quote which is this guy going, I didn't want to shoot that man. It's like, I know, man, but we asked him to stop. He's like, I know. And there's like literally 2 people genuinely like upset about having to kill another player because he just would not like respond to what they were saying to him. And there was another aspect.
That's a bit fucking harsh, isn't it, Dave? Do you want to go and stand on that rock? No. Shoot him. Shoot him immediately.
I do that anyway.
No, they're approaching their camp, and basically he wasn't responding to any of their calls. So they shot him. But there was another one where a new starter like wandered into this area, and all of a sudden 5 guys who are like in camouflage jackets, who you couldn't see, just appeared out of the bushes and just went, "You're with us." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you're a bitch." No, I'm good, thanks. So they shot him in the foot, which isn't a lethal kill, but he was wounded. So they bandaged him up, and basically they used him as human bait to go on scouting missions. And every time he was successful, they'd give him food and clothing and stuff like that. And the bloke wrote an entire blog on it. He says it's so surreal because it's the most realistic experience you could have of being a real life DayZ. Because
I'd have just quit the server and joined another one.
Yeah, but the thing is that it takes so long to do simple things. Really simple things like just walking to get gas. You generally have to spend real life time walking, actually pumping the gas, finding a can, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, do that in a different order, otherwise you can't.
Yeah, try.
Fuck it. No one taught me how to do this. Anyone got a straw?
What I was going to say is...
How much gas is in this thing? Anyone got a lighter?
If they brought that into more games where there was like bigger consequences for the gadget show thing where when you played Battlefield you actually got shot when you got shot.
Oh, Paint University in France.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. The guy was like absolutely shitting a brick every time because he got shot once. Like, that hurt. And got shot by some guy like a light machine gun. He's like, fuck!
So he just got hammered by paintballs.
He just literally just stuck to cover every second. If they were to bring that sort of thing into games, do you think it would break the gaming community, like it would completely destroy it?
I don't know if it'd work or not, because everyone would have to play with that bit of tech. Otherwise, you'd have someone who doesn't care about getting shot in the face.
Oh, but be specific to that game. Specific.
No, we're talking about the thing is, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work for the simple reason. You know why people play that game? Play any game, any shooting game. It allows you to kill with impunity.
Yeah, true.
That's why people play it.
To be honest though, I like getting shot by... It sounds weird, but I get a massive adrenaline rush getting shot at by paintballs. Absolutely epic. I love it.
Yeah, it does sound weird.
Yeah, that does definitely sound
Well,
weird.
then you must be one of the dumbest people I have ever met.
I love getting shot by... No, it's just when you can, like,
Right,
hear
Josh,
them
what we
banging
need to
off
do
the
is
wall next to you.
there is a community day down here that ARF, bless them, usually sets up for, which is Invasion Culture Day, which is cool anyway, because everybody dresses up in costumes. And I mean, they're fucking awesome costumes, not just shitty little ones. It's like proper stormtroopers, proper colonial marines, you name it. If it's sci-fi, they have it here. Arthur usually gets shot by paintballs for charity. So what I think is we'll just get you in and sub him out.
Yeah, it's September.
September.
Okay,
so right, so Josh, September next year, you're getting your fucking arse down from Telford to Culture Stone.
I live in the nice side called Wellington, which is an old market town. Wellington. It's Wellington.
Where is it we're living again?
Wellington.
Wellington.
It's Wellington. But yeah, Telford.
I'm living in Wellington.
Telford.
You're lucky. I grew up in a town where the birds used to fly upside fucking down because it wasn't even worth shitting on.
We'll come back to that later on after this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people want to hear about me chat about Wellington and Telford.
No, especially.
Oh yeah, what an awesome travel magazine.
Come to Telford, get shanked. There you go. Anyway. Story over.
What are you talking about? In the mornings when we open up the newspaper, we read the newspaper, it's a case of, yesterday there was 34 rapes, 16 murders, 27 muggings, and 16 hijackings, and you're thinking, fuck me, the crime rate's going down.
That sounds like your version of the final score. Mugging 67, rapings 4.
Well, look, let's put it this way, right?
Everyone... Stats of the day. Stabbings 5, muggings 2. No one's investing in raping anymore. It's a dead end job. One rape and everyone wants to kill you. There's no future in it.
Oh, how much of this is going to make it, I just don't know. Right, okay, what we're going to do is I'm now going to get up and speak a little bit about extreme gaming, because I've spoken about it a lot, and I don't think I've done it any justice. So...
Wow, you've asked me to talk it.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about stabbing and raping. I'll give it a go.
Well, isn't that extreme gaming?
Right, yeah. That's the after hours. It's 4D gaming.
Oh no.
The consequences are very much in your hands.
Right, so Extreme Gaming is basically a LAN centre in sunny Colchester, Essex. We are Xbox 360 dedicated. That's not to say we don't like other platforms, we're just gamers. We have 33 consoles all on a network and Xbox Live enabled. We do work with stuff like EA, Activision, Capcom, Ubisoft, where we do launch titles for them, or do events, or we go around the country doing stuff for them. Yeah, that's basically us. We're on Twitter at extreme_gaming, and Facebook, if you search us, we're there, and we're on Google, UK. Oh, everyone's on Google, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a silly thing. So,
I really like Ubisoft. Ubisoft for me has been one of the most consistent game developers probably the last 15, 20 years.
They have such a breadth of IPs at the moment. It's just really cool.
Yeah, but in fairness, they've dropped a massive one. Rainbow Six looked fucking sick, and I want to know what happened.
Dave.
No, but Patriots looked really good.
It looked terrible.
Dave, it was a concept. It wasn't a game. It was a concept.
Well, Patriots.
Yeah, it wasn't even gameplay footage, and it looked fucking awful.
Oh no! I knew what would do is I liked the cutscene of the campaign. I liked where it was going, because the whole thing of like Rainbow Six up until now was like they were the really, really, really good guys, and that bit where they kick the bloke off the bridge because he's about to blow up, and all the cops are like, "What the fuck, man?" He's like, "Well, it was either us or him, so it was him."
I think you're right about Ubisoft though. I mean, they've got Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Ghost Recon. Watch Dogs is going to coming out. They've got The Division, which is coming out.
They've got Voos.
Yeah,
I think it's a case
You mean
of...
Rise, mate?
No, I don't mean Rise. I mean Ruse. I can speak. Ruse.
The game, Ruse.
Oh, fuck me, Dave. We know you can speak.
Right.
Right.
Dave, did you have it on PC, Ruse? Sorry, to off topic.
It's on PC and it's on.
I know, but do you have it on PC? Yes
no,
or no?
I've got it on the 360.
It's on PlayStation.
I do, Wolves. I do.
Okay, we're playing it because Ruse is my absolute godsend. I have over 100 hours playing it on Steam. Okay.
How many times have you won? How many times have you won though, Josh?
Once.
Quite a lot. I win quite a lot. I know how to spam it now. 130 hours gameplay, so yeah.
Fair enough. But no, but actually, fairness, you think at EA they've screwed the pooch in a couple of games, but the games that they've actually then released, like Battlefield, I mean Titanfall, which both of us and Art and Dave's also played. That game looks absolutely incredible.
Titanfall will dominate next year, and probably for the next 5 or 6. It'll be in the new Call of Duty, which is what EA have been looking for the last.
They said they
7
wanted
years.
to do a Battlefield, wasn't it? They wanted to turn Battlefield into the new Call of Duty, but by using DLC. So yeah. So
yeah, well, look, Battlefield's found its niche, right? And it's a market that's grown exponentially. It's the same thing that happened with Redwood Studios when they came out with the original Command & Conquer. How long did they suffer on the success of that game? On the original game.
For
decades.
When EA got his hands on it and just ruined it.
Generals was good. Generals was good.
Oh, Generals was badass.
I disagree with that because you've got Red Alert 2 was good. Red Alert 3 is not bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
No, it was too kitschy. I didn't fucking like it.
You've then got Generals like General Zero, obviously, but then EA is doing stuff now that I like on free online, so you can now play.
They canned it.
They've canned it.
Canned it.
Fuck's sake.
The people that did the beta or the alpha, whatever the fuck it was, apparently they all said, "You've just made an online game only. There's no story. There's nothing we like doing here for Generals." And in fairness, there was a letter online where EA said, "Look, we've listened to you. It clearly isn't the game you want. As much as we don't want to say it, you don't like it, so we're going to go away and start again." Which,
in fairness, that's good. We want to hear.
Well, it's good for us, but not for Redwood, who they said there was basically like 30 people who marched out of the office an hour after that.
But in fairness, the thing with Red Alert was that you basically played skirmishes and the campaign.
Yeah.
And like the occasional online battle, because you always had some dick who you don't really want to play the game properly, and you're like, well, some dick's just going to sit there like me and just flying in a raw bomber that takes out the fucking power network and then just marches troops across, and you're like, that's not fun. Whereas campaign and skirmishes were always fun, especially the hot women. They always had really good-looking women.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't like that about Red Alert 3. I wasn't a big fan of that. And they marketed it with like all the models were the Generals.
Red Alert 3 was bad, but I did like it in Red Alert 2.
I like Red Alert 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun game.
Yeah.
I liked all the Command & Conquers up until probably Red Alert 3 and then Command & Conquer 4.
4 was just atrocious. Tiberian Wars was a bit.
Didn't mind Tiberian Wars.
It was hit and miss for me because it destroyed my first PC. I installed the very first Siberian Wars, and actually he was a tech guy before I was like all techy. He came over, he goes, and he said, "What game did you install?" I was like, "Command & Conquer." He went, "Let me guess, Siberian Wars." He was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, basically, unless you have exactly this, he goes, it just screws any PCs. Even though you can run it, you can't." I was like, "Oh, okay." So that kind of screwed me.
You were commanded and conquered, my friend.
Right, well, unless there is anything that anybody wants to talk about, as Josh said last time, guys, please feel free to hit us up if you ever want to game with us.
Totally.
I will put my game tag and everything on the website, which I forgot to do last time, so I'll do that in a minute.
Fucking amateur.
There'll also be an audio-only version, just as there is with the previous one. So if you don't want to watch all the videos and stuff and spam your bandwidth, feel free to listen to it on SoundCloud. There'll be all of our gamer tags there, people who are willing to, and feel free to hit us up anytime. Me, Buzz, and Mike all play World of Tanks.
And me. Oh, what about me?
And him.
I'm
You're
a
really
clan
good.
commander,
You're a real
and you're
horrible man,
forgetting.
Dave.
You're forgetting the most
Really-
important
you-
member of your clan, which is moi.
But anyway,
Josh?
Moving on.
yeah, moving
Yeah.
You are
forward.
trying to become Caesar. We know
Yes.
how that worked, don't we?
Changing gamer tag to Brutus.
Ep2 brutal. Ep2.
But
Okay,
yes,
sorry,
well,
carry on.
So I'll put up all of the stuff. I won't put a list of all the games we played, but just as I'm on Xbox occasionally. I must admit I need to get back on it. Well, I only play it here. That's the thing. I
We're
don't
fucking
play at
awesome.
home anymore because I haven't
no
got.
friends.
I'm a poor man. I'm a poor man. Thank you for the no friends thing, though. Thank
That's
you.
right, man. I'm here.
Yeah, that's right. No worries.
We also have Steam and PlayStation 3s, which Dave forgot to mention.
No, we don't. We don't have PlayStation 3s.
I do.
Whatever,
Like-
we got lots of games on lots of
I
different
have
consoles
4.
and shit.
You have 4.
Yeah.
Why do you have 4?
One in
Well,
my
working
bedroom, one downstairs, one which is currently broken is repairing, and one in the conservatory.
I love that. Arthur's immediate thing was like 1 and 3 that are broken. It's like...
How many
Hold on,
Xboxes
you
break?
have one in the conservatory?
Yes.
Tell me, when does Charles and Camilla visit?
Is that next to the drawing room?
Actually, next to the dining room, sir.
By the billiards table.
I think I'm going to have a spot of Command & Conquer after the fox hunting. Tally-ho, chaps.
The fact that my conservatory is twice the size of my bedroom kinda, puts into perspective.
We get it.
It's
You're
only when you
middle
find out
class.
his bedroom is 44 metres square.
Yeah, you
I'd
can
say
just
it's
see him.
about.
Oh, excellent. I've got my pocket money this month. I think I'm going
I
to
say my
buy
bedroom's about 2 by
cameo.
3 meters. 2 by 3 meters. My bedroom is.
Okay, moving on.
And they let
Yeah,
you
maybe-
out for 1 hour's exercise every day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Steam,
anyway.
PlayStation 3, Xbox, World of Tanks,
All
Please-
formats.
anything really. Yeah.
but
All
also,
formats.
if you're local to Culture Store or even nearby, please do come in and visit Extreme Gaming because
I'm not as rapey as I sound.
yeah.
Probably a
Oh,
bit more
but,
rapey, but
Arthur and Sam, both are more than happy to like talk to you. They go through. Arthur is like pretty much the font of damn near all knowledge when it comes to gaming and stuff. If he
I
doesn't
wouldn't
know
go that
stuff,
far.
I would just to stitch you up.
Thank you.
That's all right. They're also basically Xbox's unofficial, actually decent technical support. Because in fairness, their technical support is wank, and Arthur actually does give you helpful advice on anything.
Well,
that
I'll tell you what. If I ever walk into you guys that side, one of two things have happened. Either I've come to visit, or I climbed on the wrong fucking plane.
Well, I'm here now, so fuck it.
As I say, while in Rome.
Except
Speaking
rape
of
and
Rome.
pillage.
We'll cut a lot out, Dave, don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be a
You
10-minute
got
podcast. Skyrim, Red Dead Redemption, Halo Reach. That's it, we're done.
I don't know if these podcasts could be like nearly an hour long, but thank you very much for listening to Battle Chatter and bearing with us. If you have stayed to the end, God bless you. You have the patience of a saint.
Or they're just strapped to a chair and they can't get away.
And keep
Or they-
supporting.
It's like the Call of Duty of podcasts.
Ooh.
Right, we've got them here now. Fuck it, we do what we want.
Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for listening to Battle Chatter. This is episode 2. We hope to have episode 3 out shortly. Thank you very much. And if there's anything you want to hear, let us know in the comments or below in either the website or on YouTube. And just shout us out on Twitter as well. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
I hope to have another one up soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks. Cheers.
Bye, bye, bye.